Can you give me a little background on Silis Muhammad?
I can give you a brief background on the Honorable Silis Muhammad. He came into the Lost Foundation of Islam somewhere in the 60s in Los Angeles. After being in Los Angeles and being the #1 Muhammad Speak seller in Los Angeles, he was asked to come to Chicago to be with the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And he lived with the Honorable Elijah Muhammad for almost 4 years in his home. And he married the former daughter-in-law of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad gave him the name Muhammad. Then he was asked to leave headquarters and leave the Nation of Islam due to some things that I don't think we have enough time to go into now, but he went back to Los Angeles. He stayed in Los Angeles. That might have been late 60s, early 70s. He stayed there until the Honorable Elijah Muhammad passed. When the Honorable Elijah Muhammad passed, he watched the nation and watched Imam Muhammad Muhammad begin to go in a different direction. After about 2 years of that, he wouldn't tolerate anymore. So he decided he would raise the nation himself. So he wrote what was called a letter of declaration to Imam Muhammad, brought it to Chicago, asked the brother who was also, he was the captain, personal captain of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, he asked him to deliver that letter to Imam Muhammad. And at that point, he began to rebuild the Nation of Islam. This is not a criticism, but he had a conversation with Bernard Kouchner, asking Bernard Kouchner to help him rebuild the Nation of Islam. Bernard Kouchner, in turn, went and talked to Minister Farrakhan. So at that point, Minister Farrakhan decided to start teaching the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad again, because he was previously with Imam Muhammad. He had put the teachings, let me rephrase that. I think it's safe to say that he had set the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad aside and was teaching what Imam Muhammad was teaching, which was Orthodox Islam. But it was the Honorable Silis Muhammad's stand that caused all of those brothers to begin to react, until he stood up and put his life on the line, because the FOI had a history of doing some pretty treacherous things. We know that by Malcolm X and some other things that took place. But Mr. Muhammad chose to challenge them anyway. After that, that was in 1977. Then he got with a few other brothers, and a few brothers began to work with him and work under him, and began to teach the Honorable Elijah Muhammad again. And that has gone on now for 42, 43, 44 years. And we're still doing it.
Now, when you say he challenged, he put out a declaration and he challenged the FOI.
He challenged Imam Muhammad. There was no FOI.
Okay.
But those brothers that were in the FOI were with Imam Muhammad. And they still had that state of mind, that concept. So he drafted a declaration of spiritual war to challenge the concept of Imam Muhammad Muhammad, that he was wrong, and that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad was the last messenger who was supposed to come to us here in the West, and that he did speak face to face with God in the person of His Majesty, Master Farad Muhammad. Because it had been said that if anyone got caught teaching those teachings, they would die. So Silis Muhammad said, well, you're just going to have to kill me, because I so much believe in what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said that I'm going to teach it. And he began to teach it, and he has not stopped teaching it. He has not taken a break in that 40 plus years. He's gone into the UN, he's gone around the world, sharing this information everywhere he goes. He went to the UN to ask the UN if they would recognize us as a people, allowing us to become an independent body and free us from the shackles of America. He has done that, and it's on the record.
So just to backtrack a little bit, at that time, the teachings of the Supreme Wisdom and the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, they were banned?
Yes, totally banned.
Under the penalty of death?
That was the whisper.
And Silis resurrected the nation, and
he was the first.
Sorry, excuse me, Mr. Muhammad resurrected the nation.
He was the first to begin to teach the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad after his passing away.
And this was 1977.
This was 1977 of August.
And what year did the split occur between the resurrected Nation of Islam and the formation of the lost found Nation of Islam?
I can't say that a split occurred, but like I said earlier, Brother Minister began to teach after the Honorable Silis Muhammad, and he went in that direction, and Mr. Muhammad went in that direction, and that was a natural course stemmed by the teachings of the Honorable Silis Muhammad. They didn't come together and just agree that we're going to split. They never were together. See, after Mr. Muhammad began to teach, he met with Minister Fari Khan on several occasions, and Minister Fari Khan decided that I don't want to teach what you're teaching. I don't see it the way you see it. And he went on to teach the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad the way he saw it. And that's what he's doing today.
Can you explain what the differences in the teachings of both are?
No, I can't explain that. I don't know what's in Brother Minister's head. So therefore, I can't speak for Brother Minister. I can speak for Silis Muhammad, the Honorable Silis Muhammad. He teaches that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad was the last messenger of God, and that the nation was supposed to fall, and the book says that the people were supposed to rise a second time. And in doing so, they would set out to build a government in which they could dictate their own future based on the principles of God. And that is what Mr. Muhammad has been doing. I know that Minister Fari Khan has been teaching the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. That's all I know. I'm not here to represent Minister Fari Khan. I'm not here to grade Minister Farrakhan. That conversation is between Minister Farrakhan and the Honorable Silis Muhammad. They are the leaders. I'm not the leader. So I'm here to take instructions from the Honorable Silis Muhammad. He's here to have those conversations with Minister Farrakhan, not me.
You said earlier that he went in front of the UN to get us recognized as an independent nation. Can you explain what exactly an independent nation is and what the process is involved in becoming an independent nation?
The process of becoming an independent nation, the first part of the process is becoming recognized as a people. The black man, woman, and child in America has been disconnected from the human family. They are not recognized as people. African American is not a people. You cannot tie it to any people or any land on this planet. So therefore, it's not recognized as a people. Negro is not recognized as a people. Colored is not recognized as a people. Nigger is not recognized as a people. So we've been detached from the human family because people are those that are attached to the human family, and they can speak their mother tongue. They know their original religion. They can point to a land in which their ancestors grew from, etc., etc., etc. The black man, woman, and child in America has been disconnected from all of that. He does not know his mother tongue. He does not know his religion. He does not know where the ground is that he started to build civilization. He has been disconnected from all of that. Therefore, he's a ward of the state. Negro is a ward of the state. African American is a ward of the state. These are not people. In America, you're classified as a person. Do the homework and find out what the definition of a person is. Under your definition, it's a fictitious entity. It's a property. That's what we are here in America. And we're saying we've been your property for 400 years. We no longer choose to be your property. For those that choose to be the property of the United States or feel that they see it differently, that's not my argument. You have the right to run up and down the street with bananas and act like a monkey if you choose to. It's not for me to come and tell you you're not a monkey. If you're persistent about being a monkey, I'm not in your business. But I'm persistent in saying, me and my people, those that think like me, no longer choose to be slaves. That's every intelligent people that has decided to do something for self. And no, all the people did not think like them. You look at the Jews. The Jews decided to make themselves or declare for themselves a state. Those that were adamant about it went to Palestine. Everybody didn't go. You got Jews in America. You got Jews still in Germany. You got Jews in Russia. They didn't all decide to go to Palestine. That was their right. But they're still connected to the Jewish people. If they choose to, they could connect themselves and receive full benefits of the Jewish people. They could go to Palestine and declare themselves whatever they are and receive the benefits of it. They do receive some benefits in the other places that they are. There's no secret to that. You look at America. America, I know under Obama, and I think under Donald Trump, I know they give the Jewish people something like $1 billion a year in reparations to sustain them. They've given them an army to protect themselves. They've given them the technology to develop themselves. They've done for them all the things that civilized people do, given them all the things that civilized people need in order to proceed in life. So, is that just a white folk rule? They were afflicted for 2 years, thereabout, atrociously. That thing went on for a little longer, 12 years, whatever it was. I don't keep up with that particular history. But whatever it was not even a stone's throw close to 400 years. And you can do all that for them and do nothing for me and my people? There's something wrong with one of us if we've agreed to accept that ideology. After 400 years of atrocious mistreatment, you're telling me that you don't have to repair me? You go all around the world repairing people, fixing their human rights injuries. But when it comes to me and my people, it seems to be a problem. And it is because of your mistreatment of me and my people that you're the greatest nation on the planet Earth. And you don't have enough humanity to help me and my people. Those that want to stay with you, hey, that's a beautiful thing. Stay with you. But that does not give you the right to choose for me. You can't say that Bill wants to be with me, so you're going to have to be with me. I don't care 2 cents about what Bill thinks. I'm saying to you what me and people that think like me are saying. We'd like to be independent people. And we don't want to go to war with you. We want to be independent people. We want to go on and make this world a better place. We don't want to injure any other people. What we're saying is allow us to be able to develop ourselves so that we can protect ourselves and not be injured. See, for 400 years, we've just been open season. It's time to stop. We no longer choose to do that. We no longer choose to have our children leave the house to go to school and be worried about if they're going to make it back or not. We don't choose to do that. I don't see you doing it. The minute something happens to one of your children, I see white folks all over America rallying. The minute something happens to a black child, you might hear about it for a couple of days. Then what? Police shoot our children down. You got rules. People, listen to what I'm saying. You shoot one of our children down. He's not armed. You say he had an object in his hand. We didn't know what it was. It gives you the right to kill him. Your laws are so tricked up that they don't even value black humanity. And you're saying to me, it's the best thing since toilet paper. And I'm saying to you, you're full of. You see what I'm saying? I can do better on my own. We can do better on our own. There's no need to be afraid to do better. In fact, we have something to offer the world that no one else has. Our intellect is so superior that the world would love to have it. We've sat here 400 years to the point that when Master got sick, like one of our brothers said, we sick, Master. So we've catered to you, watched you, learned from you, studied under you, and governed with you to a degree that no one can match it. So after doing all of that, you're saying we don't have the intellect to be able to govern ourselves in a peaceful manner? What we're asking for is freedom, justice, and equality. That's it. We're not asking to let us go over here and waste our time buying and building guns so we can fight you. That's a waste of energy. We have no desire to do that. All we're saying is, hey, look, let us play the game like all civilized people. Let us not have our intellectual property stolen like you've been doing for 400 years. You talk about the cotton gin. You talk about, you want me to just make a list of all the things that black people have invented and got no credit for it? That's called intellectual theft. We no longer want to do that. What do you think the traffic light system is worth today?
Billions.
Let's try trillions. See, that's our intellectual property. One of our people. Let's look at peanut butter. We know the story. Washington Carver. We know the story. How much peanut butter is being sold today? Is his family getting residuals? See, these are things you need to look at. Because if you invent something today, 100 years from now, you want your children to be able to benefit from it. You want somebody else benefiting off something that you spent your life inventing. How does that work? The cotton gin. I mean, we'd be here all night talking about the intellectual properties that were stolen from us, and we know they were stolen from us, and you know they were stolen from us. You haven't done anything about it. You wrote a book saying, yeah, he did invent it, but what? So the most intelligent way to prevent that type of situation is to govern yourself. When you govern yourself, then you have to worry about somebody else doing all of that. Because you're able to protect yourself. You're able to protect your intellectual property. You're able to protect your mentality. We look at the black community. Drugs are running rampant. Can we say that black people invented them drugs? How did they get in our community? See, these are things that we can prevent if we govern self. See, if we have our own land, We can make our own laws. And if you bring heroin or whatever this other mess is into our domain, we could have rules to say what's going to happen to you. Because you're killing people. History has taught us this. Look what they did with the Chinese over the poppy seed. Come on now. Look how when the Chinese said, we no longer want to do that, what they did. And how they turned that production against their own country. The European took that and used it as a weapon against the Chinese. Because they didn't want to do it anymore. We don't want to grow poppy seed. We don't want to make heroin. It's bad for our country. It's affecting our people the wrong way. He turned around and went to war with them. Over profit. Not concerned about the people. These are just facts. Does not build an animosity in me. Does not build a hatred in me. But it does make me an intelligent human being. I have no problem with the white man. Donald Elijah Muhammad said the white man was the devil. Hey, white man, prove him wrong. Don't ask me what I believe and what I think. Where you get off on that one? He ain't called me the devil. The hell you ask me about what I think for? If you say you ain't the devil, prove it. Thus far, you betting 1,000. So don't ask me about, do I believe that? You damn right I believe it. I believe what I saw you do. So should I see you steal my stuff and say, oh no, that's an angel. He wouldn't do that. The days of making black people suckers, stupid, and idiots are done. We're intelligent people. Now, I know yellow when I see it. I know a monkey when I see one. I know a dog when I see one. So you're telling me that I don't have the intellect to be able to look around in this world and identify things? It's not my argument with you. If you have a problem with it, then prove it to be wrong. Real simple.